मंजूश्री मैम स्टार्ट करें मैम। हेलो मंजूश्री मैम।
जी
जी मैम, जी मैम। सर मैं बीच में सरस्वती वंदना प्ले करूंगा भट्ट सर, तो उसमें स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करूंगा, फिर आप वापस स्टार्ट कर लीजिएगा सर।
ठीक है,
नो इशू सर, वो चेंज होता है जी।
जब शुरू करेंगे उस समय मैं इसको निकाल दूंगा।
हाँ सर, वो मेरे से ही हो जाएगा सर। नमस्कार सभी को। विद्या भारती उच्च शिक्षा संस्थान माई एनईपी के इस वेबिनार में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज का हमारा विषय है टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड लर्निंग, और इस विषय पर हमारे बीच एक बहुत ही प्रबुद्ध वक्ता भी हैं जिनका परिचय आगे आपसे मॉडरेटर कराएंगे। अभी के लिए आपसे दो ही अनुरोध है, जितने भी लोग हैं, कि कृपया म्यूट पर रखें पूरे वक्तव्य के बीच में अपने अकाउंट को। और अगर आप लोग जो भी प्रश्न पूछना चाहते हैं यहाँ पर, क्योंकि हमारे वेबिनार्स का एक मुख्य लक्ष्य यह है कि डिस्कशन हम करा पाए, तो मैडम मॉडरेटर मंजूश्री को आप अपने प्रश्न भेज सकते हैं चैट बॉक्स में, और वो निश्चित रूप से डिस्कशन का पार्ट बनाए जाएंगे। तो कार्यक्रम की सबसे पहले शुरुआत हम आज सरस्वती वंदना करके शुरू करेंगे।
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहाम् हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
जी नमस्कार। मैं आज की हमारी मॉडरेटर श्रीमती मंजूश्री सरदेश पांडे मैम का परिचय आप सभी से करा देता हूँ। डॉक्टर मंजूश्री सरदेश पांडे, आपने एमए, बीएड, एलएलबी एवं पीएचडी तक आपकी शिक्षा हुई है। आप हेड हैं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इंग्लिश एंड आईक्यूएससी कोऑर्डिनेटर भी हैं आरएस मुंडले धर्मपेट आर्ट्स एंड कॉमर्स कॉलेज नागपुर में। आपका 29 वर्षों से भी अधिक का टीचिंग एक्सपीरियंस रहा है। आप पोएट, राइटर, एडिटर, ट्रांसलेटर और एक टीचर ट्रेनर भी हैं। आपकी पोएम मैन फियर्स मैन स्टैंडर्ड 10 स्टेट बोर्ड पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए प्रिस्क्राइब की गई थी। आपकी पोएम कई प्रसिद्ध न्यूज़पेपर्स और पुस्तकों में छपी भी है। आप कई लोगों की पीएचडी सुपरवाइजर भी रही हैं। कई सारे नेशनल इंटरनेशनल पेपर्स आपने लिखे हैं। आपने बेस्ट पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन अवार्ड भी जीता है कम्युनिकेटिव अप्रोच नामक आपके पेपर पर। आपने श्री रंगा हरि जी की पुस्तक धर्मा एंड कल्चर, जो कि बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध थी, इसको ट्रांसलेट भी किया है। आप कोऑर्डिनेटर एवं रिसर्च पर्सन रही हैं इन सर्विस टीचर ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम फॉर जूनियर कॉलेज टीचर्स के लिए। लगभग 10 वर्षों से आप इस कार्य में जुड़ी हुई हैं। आप ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम्स और रिफ्रेशर कोर्सेज के लिए भी रिसोर्स पर्सन रही हैं सीनियर कॉलेज टीचर्स के लिए। आपने एक्टिवली टेक्स्ट बुक्स बनाने के लिए केजी टू पीजी कई सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स के लिए और टीचर ट्रेनिंग के लिए काम किया है। आप इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज कमेटी टेक्स्ट बुक ब्यूरो बाल भारती की चेयरपर्सन हैं। आप आरटीएम नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी, बृहन मुंबई कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स पुणे एंड कवि कुलगुरु कालिदास संस्कृत यूनिवर्सिटी रामटेक की बोर्ड की सदस्य हैं। और आप साथ ही साथ विद्या भारती उच्च शिक्षा संस्थान की वाइस प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं। नमस्कार मैडम, स्वागत है आपका। कृपया कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाएं।
Hello,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please
am
continue.
I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay. A very good morning, Honorable Speaker of today's webinar, Dr. Inder Bhat sir, President of Vidya Bharati Uच्च Shiksha Sansthan, Dr. Kailash Sharma sir, Sangathan Mantri, respected Prakash Chandra ji, Sah Sangathan Mantri Raghunandan ji, all the esteemed members of Vidya Bharati Uच्च Shiksha Sansthan, Shri Sudhakar ji, and all our advisory and editorial board members, and all the top academicians present here today. On behalf of Vidya Bharati Uच्च Shiksha Sansthan, I extend a hearty welcome to you all. Vidya Bharati symbolizes quality education and is always in the forefront when it comes to man-making and national development. Recently, the new Education Policy 2020 was unveiled by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which is revolutionary in every sense. While the policy focuses on multiple aspects, including the need for early childhood care, inclusive education, and revamping of the current curriculum, an inherent thread that runs through the policy is the interplay of education and technology. Over the last decade, India has transformed itself into an information-intensive society, and there is a growing requirement to embrace the usage of technology in the field of education. In this regard, the policy notes that one of the central principles steering the education system will be the extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers, and increasing access as well as education planning and management. E-courses will be developed in regional languages, virtual labs will be developed, and National Education Technology Forum, NETF, is being created. The ministry will use the technology in education planning, teaching, learning, and most essentially in assessment. The ministry will develop regulation, self-disclosure, and minimum human interface in education sector according to the new policy. It has also given priority to increase access for disadvantaged groups of the society. It will also develop Divyanga-friendly education software. And the new policy is eyeing to digitally equipping schools, teachers, and students. In the current scenario, we know that in the pandemic circumstances, with virtual learning replacing the in-person learning experiences, students and teachers have been compelled to reimagine conventional learning and teaching techniques. Introduction of the policy at such a critical juncture is significant as it details the vision of education for future generations and will be a quintessential tool towards building a self-reliant India. But the crucial thing is the implementation of the policy. to get the know-how of what is happening in the Bhat, a DOI expert groups for National Education Policy 2020 implementation plan, and especially working on use of technology and integration. It is indeed an honor and proud privilege for me to introduce you to an erudite and a very distinguished personality in the field of technology and education. Dr. I.K. Bhat, the Vice Chancellor of Manav Rachna University, has been the Director of National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur, NIT Delhi, NIT Jalandhar, and IIT Kota, Rajasthan. After receiving BE Honours in Mechanical Engineering from NIT Srinagar, MTech and PhD degrees from IIT Kanpur, he served as a lecturer and reader at IIT Lucknow and professor at Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. Professor Bhat has an excellent track record of quality teaching, research, and institution building. He has supervised 12 PhDs and several MTech theses in the area of energy, fatigue, wear, material characteristics, and academic management. He has published more than 150 articles in journals and conferences, seminars, etc. He has delivered more than 200 been invited to more than 200 lectures, and Dr. Bhat is a resource person on accreditation and staff development in the country and has conducted several dozen training programs in teaching pedagogy across the country. Professor Bhat has held many positions of responsibility. To just name a few, he is the member of Central Advisory Board of Education, Government of India. He is the advisor in All India Council for Technical Education. He is a member, Secretary of National Board of Accreditation, and member of Engineering, Evaluation and Accreditation Committee of NBA, advisor, member of Rajasthan State Human Rights Commission, Jaipur, member on task force constituted by MHRD on skills and employability, etc. I'm just naming a few. Then he has also been the member of advisory board of Altar, Bengaluru. He was the member academic council of JK Lakshmipat University, Jaipur, and many more. Professor Bhat has contributed at policy level, being associated in developing NBA Vision 2002, AICTE Vision 2015. He has been the member of the Committee for Framing of Appeal Regulations for NAC. He has been the member, Central Advisory Board of Education since 2015. He has been with the drafting first statutes of NITs, drafting IIT bill under PPP mode, AICTE strategic plan for 10th plan period, regulations of National Board of Accreditation. We are indeed fortunate to have such a distinguished personality of great repute and stature amidst us here today. I welcome you, sir. We are impatiently waiting to listen to you, sir, on our today's topic on use of technology in education as envisaged in the new Education Policy 2020, focusing on its implementation. We would be having an interaction with Dr. I.K. Bhat after his speech, and I would like to request the audience to kindly keep the questions ready in the chat box, and you can ask the questions in Hindi as well as in English. Over to Bhat, sir. I welcome you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me thank Vidya Bharati Uch Shiksha Sansthan for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to talk about a subject which is very important and very dear to me, which is technology-enabled learning. All of us, in fact, whatever I'll be talking about is based on the interaction which I have had with my colleagues and some teachers. And fortunately, I was also part of the task force which was created by UGC on implementation of technology-enabled learning. And there were a lot of present, and I learned a lot of things from them. And therefore, what I'll be talking about is something which is a collection of ideas which emerged during that process. Now, we have to understand that the world is moving ahead, and we have to ensure that we are not left behind. If we look at what is happening all across the globe, we find that there are things as far as technology is concerned. They are developing new technologies, leading us, and finally we get those technologies which are second-hand technologies. Now it is time for us to consider that how do we ultimately become part of the system where we design them, create them, and become drivers actually be on the driving seat actually, and lead in this particular area has become very, very important. So therefore, I have thought that it would be, when we look at the national education policy, where one complete chapter has been focused on technology-enabled learning. It is not for only universities or colleges, but the policy talks about that even at the school level, we have to engage, we have to give this technology-enabled learning. We should use this for educating our children who are still in the schools or are yet to go to the schools. We should be addressing those children also, which is very, very important. So when I look at this, yes, the purpose has been said as I'll talk about what is happening globally and therefore what we should be doing and how we prepare ourselves for the future will become important. Now let us look at a scenario. In 2006, iPhone was not there, iPad was not there, Kindle was not there, 4G was not there, Uber was not there. So all this, nothing was there in fact. Nobody talked about Android or nobody talked about Instagram, nobody talked about WhatsApp. All this has happened during this particular period. Now, since 2006, you can see that before this, the children of today do not understand a life without a WhatsApp. They cannot think of less than an iPhone or iPad, which is becoming very, very important. And these things did not exist in 2006. So therefore, how do we move ahead? If we look at the technology development, the telephone took 75 years to reach 100 million. TV took about 22 years. Facebook took 4 years. WhatsApp took 1 year. And Pokemon took just 19 days to cross 100 million customers. This shows that whatever technology we are talking about, when telephone was invented or when automobile was invented, they were considered to be the inventions and great things at that particular time. But look at the new technologies which are coming up or the new systems which are coming up. They take their half-life time is very limited also. And therefore, there will be new technologies which will be coming and we will be using them, and we will see that as soon as they come, we will be talking about these technologies, how do we use them actually. And these technologies have an impact actually. They have skill development. It is convenient as far as we are looking at. Now, when we look at WhatsApp or when we look at the phone, when we look at iPad, all these things are very useful for us. Without this, our life will become very, very important. Look at this Zoom, which we are using today here. And similarly, how do we use resource, which are resource utilization, digital literacy, environment and infrastructure, and also create jobs. All these things are very essential when we look at these new technologies which are coming up. If you look at the Industrial Revolution, which happened, the first Industrial Revolution came when water mill was created, or when the steam engine was created, and therefore machines started working because of this power. then the second revolution came when around First World War and Second World War, where mass production was considered to be very important. And then the third revolution, which came in 1970s, in fact, the use of robots came into picture. So the IT became important. Now today, the industry, we talk about Industry 4, it is based on cyber physical systems. People are sitting somewhere else and the machines are run using iPads, using your phones, using your gadgets, which we have created. So therefore, there is a change which is taking place and we cannot remain away from this change. It has to be part of it. So when we look at this change, let me show you just, we used to have this long back actually. And every house in fact had this. We still have one in our house, right? But then the people started using water power and these mills came into picture. Then the third stage came when the electricity was generated. So therefore people started using this electricity for making flour, which is in the same direction actually. And today we buy from market, which is all packed, and this packing is done in cyber systems, cyber controlled systems. There are no men who are looking at it except for the quality control and a person sitting who is managing it from his control room. And this control room could be maybe hundreds of thousands of miles away from the place where this is being done. So therefore, this Industry 4 is the current trends of automation. The automation is happening. And therefore, how do we manage this has become very, very important. So all this manufacturing today are using cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, cloud computing, cognitive computing. All this is nothing but the fourth industrial revolution. And we have to be part of this industrial revolution. We have to understand the technologies which are being used in this particular case. Now, another thing which is happening, in fact, is IBM report, if you look at it says that by 2022, 133 million new roles will emerge. These roles are not present today. It says that this report came in 2016, and it said 133 million new roles will emerge, and 75% of the existing roles will vanish. So therefore, we have to be careful that if what we are doing today is going to vanish, or if the new role is there, are we skilling our people accordingly? The World Economic Forum report says 35% of the skills that are crucial in 2015 will have completely changed by 2020. So there was nothing when I became a teacher, the technology which we use, blackboard technology, continued in fact till few years back actually. I switched to another system. So, but during these last 5 years, a lot of changes have taken place, and therefore we have to prepare our for this. It says that the role of directors, CEOs, this will go away. New roles will come where artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, business analytics will play a very, very important role. There are university and higher education people will talk about people and culture specialists, not only the domain specializations, not only technology, but they will look at the cultural aspect also, which becomes very, very important. So therefore, the innovations become new roles. Are we preparing our people for that? And the redundant roles like banking, statistical, postal service, all this is going away. I remember when I was a student, I used to write letters to my parents. And today nobody uses that postcard or that envelope now. So therefore, things are changing, and we have to understand that the higher education institutions have the responsibility to align with the needs of the market. Unless we do it, we will be producing people who are not relevant today. Now, if you look at 2015, the World Economic Forum says that these are the critical skills which are required. The complex problem solving, and the 10th is creativity. And when we were in 2020, the skill set which was required is complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity becomes the third thing, in fact. So you can see that things have changed actually during these 5 years. The set of skills which was required in 15 is no longer valid in 2020, which is now ending actually. And people have started talking about that in 2025, the creativity, emotional intelligence, analytical thinking, active learning and growth mindset, judgment and decision making, these will become more important than other skills which are very, very important. So are we preparing our children at least for 2025? Because this is now approaching, and therefore we need to skill ourselves, our children in our schools. This is our responsibility as far as the teacher is concerned. So therefore, I can just, these set of skills can be put in three categories. One is the learning and innovative skill, where I'm talking about critical thinking, problem solving, communication and collaboration, creativity, innovations. This is something which we are talking about in the domain area. He has to learn it and he has to be innovative. And if he is like this, then he will be in a position to contribute. The second literacy is the digital literacy skill. Now, when we look at the digital literacy skill today, when we are using Zoom, when we are using WebEx, when we are using Microsoft Teams, these are digital skills. Are we, and these digital skills are very useful in order to curate material, find out what we are trying to do, communicate with others. This has become very, very important. Even children at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6 have started using the phones, the Android phones, in order to send messages. They are comfortable with the lectures which they are attending from their school teachers today, and therefore we have to understand this digital literacy skill is important. And the third area is career and life skills. This means, is a person flexible, adaptable? Has he self-direction? Does he understand the social and cross-cultural relationships? Productivity, accountability, leadership. These are the skills which are very, very important and which are going to be important in near future. So therefore, we have to look at all these three sets of skill sets. One, which is the learning and innovative skill, digital skill second, and the career and life skills, which we sometimes do call as soft skills also, will become very, very important. And these skills are considered to be have to be part of the progressive education. If our education system addresses to these things, we will be in a position to create manpower, which will be useful to the society. Today, we are talking about a demographic advantage of India. It will be useful only when they have skill set. And this skill set means when we are looking at 21st century skill set, which is given here, something like this. And maybe over a period of time in 2030 and 2050, another skill set is required. But this, by and large, will remain the same, that we need to understand that these three skill sets are important. Another thing which is happening actually is there are a lot of studies where the physical and the manual skills are going down. The basic cognitive skills will go down. Remembering, understanding on a Bloom's taxonomy are going down. It has no people do not bother about it. People are talking about the higher cognitive skills, higher order learning skills, and that they want that the people should be in a position to understand it and learn it. Social and emotional skills is increasing by 24%. And technological skill is increasing by 55%. If anyone is not learning technology today, if he is not equipping himself with the skills where the technology has to be used, then he is becoming redundant, obsolete, and he will not be useful for the society in later years. Look at banks. When technology came, people started saying that we will computerize banks. And there was a lot of resistance. All banks closed. They had dharnas and all those things happened. And then finally they said, okay, teller system can work. And then they started working again. Then after this ATM came, it gave them more comfort actually. Now we are talking about net banking. We are talking about Paytm and similar other systems. E-commerce, look at, you do not go to the market. Actually, for last 10 months, we have been in the home. And this Amazon, all this is happening. Bill payments, the electricity bill, the water bill, other bills are being paid. So therefore, this technology has made it possible for us to still continue to work from our homes and address to all the requirements, which is very, very important. So therefore, this has to happen in the education system. Even in GRE, if you look at GRE, you submit the paper and you get the score. So they are using technology, and therefore, and when you use technology, then we are looking at the education today, technology enabled learning. We are looking at 24/7 into 365, and where there is no human touch actually, and we are learning actually. This is what is expected in education sector also. Every institution or every university, every school has to address to this. Unless they address, they will be redundant and they will not be able to compete. Look at what has happened in the commerce sector. In 2017, they use computers and they had 17% of the share. By 2019, Domino has 75% of the share of the market. So this is in India. And therefore, this technology enables us to move ahead, become more entrepreneurs of tomorrow, and also address to the society, which is becoming very, very important. So therefore, this online orders have become, this system has become very successful, and therefore, this is important. Now, this means that the industry is changing, and we also have to change. When we look at the change in industry, it happens because the new technologies are coming. The market forces are there. The economic forces are there. And the national perspective is changing actually. A system where we were not able to prepare even one PPE for this COVID, the personal protection equipment, now we are exporting it. We were not having facility for testing, and look at the national perspective change. The government wanted more laboratories, and we have more than 700 laboratories today in the country. And this is happening, and therefore our scheme of education also has to change. Unless we change our scheme of education, the way we are teaching our young children, nothing will change and we will be left behind, which is not acceptable. UNESCO says that in 21st century, education system has to go through reforms, and reforms at the policy level, curriculum level, pedagogy level, ICT usage level, policy level, teacher training level, and the organizational structure level. So therefore, all this is policy. We have a national policy now, which gives us an opportunity to look at this policy with the perspective of, I will be talking only on with the perspective of technology-enabled learning. So this does give us an handle to address this. Curriculum has to change. Obviously, the way we were teaching, the way the contents were being delivered, everything is changing. The way pedagogy was there is changing. We are talking about now active learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, and all those technology methods of teaching. ICT policy. Nobody was talking about Zoom and Microsoft Teams and WebExes earlier. Now today it has become part of it, and we'll cover it slightly more. So teacher training has become important. So the mission is to prepare learners and the citizens and the workforce that is taking up new technologies to support social development and become more productive as far as the national requirement is concerned. That means we have to give them the technology literacy. Everyone has to be literate in our country, and this we have the capacity to do it. There are something more things which are more changes which are happening actually. New technologies are coming up as we see. New courses are being developed, which were not earlier there. New degrees are being awarded. For profit universities, if you look at Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy, all of them are earning profit. Virtual classrooms are becoming now reality. Education and security requirements are increasing, and the alliances, collaborations among different institutions who were competitors earlier are now cooperating with each other. This is happening actually as of now. Another thing which is happening is people say that why should I waste my time 4 years in getting an engineering degree and read all that nonsense material which is not required in my life. I am interested in making some product. I will understand how this product is to be made, how it is to be designed, how it is to be manufactured, and how it is to be used from 4 different institutions taking one subject each who are expert in this particular area. And if I do this, go to these institutions, get this material done, get this skill, get myself trained in another 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, I can start my enterprise and work in this direction. So this is also happening. And in fact, this is happening for the last several years. Another thing, online courses are happening. If you do not upgrade yourself, if you do not create a content which is very useful, you are becoming obsolete then. So the drivers of use of technology is online courses in education, and the degrees being awarded, which is on rise, making it possible for students to study in areas of their passion actually. This is happening. So therefore, it also gives us an opportunity for the trained professionals in those areas, in new skill areas, where they do not have the capability to do it. Many industries are using technologies without understanding technology. It is the responsibility of educational institutions to train them, skill them, and then so that they become better. Look at what is happening actually. When we look at these course era, I'm just giving one course era example. In 2019, April 2020, just in 3-4 months, what happened? From March to April, there was an increase of 1400% as far as the courses are concerned, these online courses are concerned. So therefore, this is an opportunity for us to develop courses where our teachers will be in a position to give those courses, impart training and knowledge to whole of the globe actually. And this is another area which is an opportunity. There are challenges. I'm not saying that there are no challenges. The challenge, biggest challenge is bring knowledge needed, which is a need of the hour. When needed and where it is needed will become very, very important. Again, by the best authorities. I have a choice today to study a course from IIT Madras or IIT Kharagpur or from Stanford or from MIT. I have the choice. So therefore, I have to be the best. The material which I develop, the pedagogy which I develop, and the way I present it to the people and assess them is becoming very, very important. So we have to be the best. There is no question of relaxing, and it has to be done in a most effective and efficient manner possible. So when we look at these challenges, it talks about then the future of education. What type of education are we talking about? The new vision of learning we are looking at. Know what you need. So that is what is happening actually. I need a particular skill, I will just attend that. I attended few courses through this course era and edX, and because I thought that they will become useful to me even at this age. So therefore, we have to understand how do we get this knowledge and how do we skill ourselves. Built learning environment will become important, and this is our personal choice actually of where and how one learns will become important. Peer-to-peer learning is expected to dominate in future. So therefore, we need to have a relationship, a collaboration among our peers so that we are in a position to learn and use those things. So when we are looking at this changing scenario in education, teaching is getting transformed. It is becoming the personalized adaptive learning. Every individual has a preference, and therefore he would like to get educated in that particular manner. Assessment is reimagined. The examination system, I have been talking about this examination system for last 5 years, that there should be no examination. There should be assessment every day, actually. And that is what should happen, actually. This is reimagined, in fact. Intelligent digital and physical systems are supposed to be developed so that we deliver efficiently and we create campuses which are important. Now, what is this education for which I was talking about? When earlier, अगर आप वो देखेंगे कि हमारे सेंट्स और बाकी जितने भी थे, वो सारा मेमोराइज था, उनको कंठस्थ हर चीज था. महाभारत एक जनरेशन से दूसरी जनरेशन, तीसरी जनरेशन, similarly Ramayana and Vedas, all this happened because of this. They memorized it, gave lectures, and their students learned about it. Now this is one part of it, because उस समय हमारे पास printed material नहीं था, उस ये बाद में आया, printing presses बाद में आए. So therefore ये चीजें change होती गई. Education too means जब internet enabled learning शुरू हो गई. तीसरा चीज फिर ये हो गया था कि जब तक रिसर्च नहीं करेंगे तब तक एजुकेशन का कोई मतलब नहीं है. And therefore knowledge producing education became education 3. And today people are talking about education 4, which means that we have to be innovative. Unless we are innovative, unless there is an innovation done by every student, whatever small innovation it might be, हमारी education जो है इसका कोई मतलब नहीं रहता. So therefore we have to contribute. Innovation का मतलब है we are contributing our skills, our knowledge, and trying to build a system, build products, build processes for the benefit of society is what education 4 is, and we cannot remain out. So therefore the learning, innovative based education is what is education 4. Now this means anywhere, anytime is education 4. It is personal, it is flexible delivery, it is learning from peers and mentors, it is why and not what and how, where there has to be a practical application associated with it, and all this, in fact, the ownership of student and evaluation, not examination, should be present there. So this is what is this is education 4. And there are drivers. The current jobs will cease to exist. As I showed you what IBM and World Economic Forum says, that these current jobs will cease to exist. And therefore, are we equipping ourselves and our children accordingly? New jobs will replace the existing jobs. Are we now preparing our youth for that? It will require a different skill set. It is not the same skill set what we were required to have when I was a student in the school or college. Today, the skill set of children has to be different. I have my granddaughter who is just 8-9 years old and attending these online classes, and then trying to interact with friends and all. जहाँ पर भी दिक्कत होती है, हमसे भी कभी-कभी पूछती है कि ये कैसे होता है. So therefore, new different skill set is required. The soft skills have become important. पहले तो you could be arrogant, but now in this new system, you will have to have the soft skills with you. So therefore, the technical skills are valuable. And today, the employers of future will place great importance on soft skills. This is what Microsoft says. वो कहता है कि वो तो आप सीख ही लेंगे कि टेक्निकल स्किल्स क्या है, वो आपको टीचर सिखा देगा. लेकिन अगर हमें क्या चाहिए is a soft skill. So therefore, the life skills which I talked about has become a very, very important thing for us. So there are drivers. Future skill set required is a driver. The age is increasing. पहले तो 50 साल लाइफ स्पैन होता था, अब तो 100 ईयर के आसपास होने लगा है. मिलेनियम माइंडसेट. आप जिस तरीके से ये है, हम अपने कॉलेज में इस तरीके से नहीं खड़े रह सकते. So therefore, and the digital networks, the personal data, the collaboration platforms, all this is happening. And therefore, are we also looking at the social progress that should happen while we are educating our children, is what education 4 is all about. And it encompasses cloud computing, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, big data. All this is happening actually. So therefore 3D printing, everything is happening actually. And unless we integrate these things in every domain, whether we are teaching electronics, whether we are teaching mechanical engineering, whether we are teaching civil engineering, this has to be integrated with that. And if we do it, we will be in a position to do a better job for the society. So therefore, there is a need that this education 4 needs to align with the industry 4 and prepare our students for the next industrial revolution, which will happen in their lifetime. हमने ये देखा है कि अभी ये शुरुआत हुई है इंडस्ट्री 4 की, ये सारी चीजें बदल जाएंगी. आपने देखा कि what IBM is saying कि सारे स्किल सेट बदल जाएगा. एंड एज सून एज दैट हैपेंस, हमारे बच्चे जो हैं, जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हमें उनको उसके लिए तैयार करना है, न कि आज के लिए कि उसने कितना क्रैम किया है, कितना गोटा किया है और कितना वो वापस वोमिट कर सकता है पेपर पर लिखने के लिए एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में. That is not required. So we have to align this education with the skill set, the knowledge and the skill set which is required at that stage. So therefore, when we look at this flexible production line, industry is changing. So हमें भी tailor made learning path बनाना पड़ेगा. Online quality checks है. So therefore, formative assessments education में आनी चाहिए. And all this is what is important, that we need to align our educational requirements with this industry requirement. So therefore, when we align them, that means we are looking at lifelong learners. क्योंकि 5 साल बाद तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी भी बदल जाएगी. It will not remain the same. आज हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और वर्चुअल रियलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, शायद 5 साल या 10 साल में वो भी बदल जाएगा, कोई नई वो टेक्नोलॉजी आएगी. So they should learn it. When I was a student, there was nothing like robots, there was nothing like computers. So we learned it and are now using it actually. So therefore, my teachers taught me what is learning by yourself. And this lifelong learning will become important. And we need to create a pluralistic society where everybody understands and plays their role based on their strengths, which is important. And every system in the education system has to be self-sustaining, on a self-sustaining model rather than only delivering knowledge. Or self-sustaining तभी हो सकता है when we are giving skill set to people and they are contributing towards the innovations, which is very, very important. And if we do that, it will impact our economy, it will impact the business, it will have national and global sustainability, it will improve the working of society and improve the lifestyle of the people of working in the society, and it will also uplift each and every individual. If everything is, economy is impacted positively, every individual also is impacted accordingly. When we look at these disruptive technologies, the mobile internet has become very, very important. आज हम कहते हैं कि टीवी और बाकी चीजें हैं. Today people, बच्चे तो टीवी की तरफ देखते भी नहीं हैं. Which was one time, it was considered to be very important and everybody would be glued to the TV. Today they are glued to mobiles actually. Every information is available on mobile. Cloud technologies, advanced robotics, next generation genomics, autonomous vehicles, advanced material, IoT, 3D printing, everything is becoming, these are disruptive technologies. Are we becoming part of it? If we are not part of it, we will be left behind. So therefore, it is important for all of us that we should be in a position to address and work in all these areas which are considered to be disruptive technologies. We have been doing it. एक स्टेज था, जैसे मैंने कहा, क्रैमिंग होती थी, फिर बुक्स पढ़नी होती थी, फिर ब्लैक बोर्ड आ गया, फिर ओवरहेड प्रोजेक्टर्स आ गए, फिर स्लाइड प्रोजेक्टर्स आ गए. Many of our children will not be understanding what a slide projector is in that. Here, computer assisted instructions, design tools, optimizations, and other things are there. PPTs, CFD, robotics, all this is changing. So, नई और technologies आती जाएंगी, ये यहीं पर नहीं रुकेगा, and therefore we have to learn it and also make our children to learn those things, which is very, very important. We started with Bhojpatra. We started writing, then telephone, and this. Look at what is happening actually. And today it is the mobile technology, the mobile platforms. Yesterday, in fact, Honorable Prime Minister was talking about how much it is impacting. We have about 80 crore people having mobile today. And most of these mobiles are smart mobiles. So therefore, we can use them for educational purposes also. We have shifted, and we need to give a blended learning. Board is important. I am not saying the teacher is not important. It is very important, but इसका जो impact है उसका कम होता जा रहा है. The computer is becoming more important. Today, we see that we are talking about asynchronous mode of education and synchronous mode of education have to be done together. उसी को हम blended learning की बात कर रहे हैं. That is what is important. And that has to be the baseline for teaching today. If we do not use it, we are left behind. Today, the third option of e-learning or blended mode is this one now. What we are now talking about at this stage, through this Zoom platform or WebEx platform or any other platform, electronic platforms, which is becoming very, very important. So therefore, how do we shift to this online system and make it a blended system where आपको भी ये लगेगा कि हाँ हमारा भी कोई रोल है, and then assess it. हमने तो पढ़ा दिया, स्टूडेंट ने सीखा कि नहीं is more important, and therefore उसने कितना सीखा. हम आजकल टेस्ट क्या करते हैं एग्जामिनेशन में, ऐसा सवाल दे दो जो कोई जवाब ना दे सके. बट क्वेश्चन इज हमने जो पढ़ाया उसमें से उसने कितने % सीख लिया is what is assessment. It is not an examination. So we have to shift actually, which is important. When we look at the e-learning environment, it is about digital curriculum. It is about improved learning methods. It is about use of technology. It is about the connectivity which we should have. It is about the professional development which is can happen through this e-learning ingredient. So this is what we are now today. We at this stage we are now addressing to this environment. We have created this e-learning environment, and we have to take it forward to the next level. Is the responsibility of the academicians and the researchers who have to be innovators in this particular area. Digital skills जब हम बात करते हैं, digital business, digital marketing, artificial intelligence, data analytics, systems and cloud, cyber security, software development, digital applications, agile innovations, ये हमें important बना देता है. These are the skills which have to be there with every student, irrespective of the domain. मैं आपको वही बता रहा था कि there are students who are working in geography, and they create such type of system. The Google 3D maps जो है, उस पर वो किस तरीके से अपने प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हैं, just जो बच्चे स्कूल में हैं, and they are using these digital skills and are definitely understanding it much better than the way we understood it. हमारे स्टेज में उस समय नहीं था. So therefore the need of education is education must keep pace with the world in training students to have safe future. Ensure teaching learning experience is similar to the working experience. वो जो कर रहा है वो उसके वर्क प्लेस में इस्तेमाल होना चाहिए, and realistic and practical approach to learning होना चाहिए. There should be learning outcomes. हमें force इस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए. What is the outcome of what I am doing actually? मेरी टीचिंग का क्या पर्पस है कि वो सीख जाए, क्या वो सीख रहा है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, कितना सीख रहा है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है. And therefore we need to have LMS systems and other technologies, the support system where we have hardware and software, which is becoming important. And this has definitely a faster understanding. More learning of diverse materials can take place. The students are interested in this technology now. More specialization, better recall, all this is happening actually. So if this is happening, it means that we are delivering what is need of the hour, what student wants, and therefore it is helping him in his personalized education, increasing personalization of education. So it is not only teaching, it is to be trained and not taught. The students have to be trained in use of knowledge. जो knowledge आप देते हैं उसका use क्या है? They have to be trained in that so that they become innovators of tomorrow and make accessible. And students need to learn how to find it. We should teach them how to learn actually. So students are not alike. There are different students have different starting point. कल आप एक क्लास को पढ़ा सकते हैं जिसमें 1000 बच्चा हो सकता है, then you are teaching online, and different students will be from different institutions, different backgrounds, therefore they have a different starting point. So you have to address to that also. You can learn and absorb different areas of focus. Is taking place. One change is the written examination is now become the coursework actually. Tutor-led assessment is becoming student-led assessment. Students se assess kara do. And you will find that this is a very powerful method of assessment which will save your time also. Implicit criteria, explicit criteria, competition ke balde collaboration ho rahi. All this is happening. So this change is taking place. The content to competency is taking place. So therefore, and we have to understand that this change is there. So in 21st century, the education should be flexible, tailor-made curricula, taught by teachers who become mentors of tomorrow, and treat students as individuals with different interests. As I said, they can be from different backgrounds also. So therefore, you have to look at their requirement. Integrate technology in the teaching learning process is what we will be talking about now, how to do it. So in the teaching learning process, if we have embedded technology, integrate this technology, the technology can act in 3 ways. One is it can act as a tutor, support teachers to teach and act as tutor. The second is technology as a teaching tool. It acts as tool assisting in delivery and assessment. So it becomes a tool for you also, and you can design your delivery accordingly. And the third is technology as a learning tool makes learning easy and effective. I can do it 3 times, 4 times. टीचर तो एक बार पढ़ा के जाएगा, और अगर उसको वही सब्जेक्ट 3 बार पढ़ाना है एक दिन में 3 different sections में, his performance will be different. But here, if you have developed a good material, the same material will be available to everyone, and you can use it several times. उसमें कहीं फर्क नहीं आ सकता है. So you are consistent, and they learn it better in that particular manner. So the technology-enabled learning provides basically lifelong learning for digital economy. So you have innovation, technology, future-ready skills, using blended learning, applying this what you have learned, both knowledge and skills, in the practical situations, and create a global pathway for yourself. And this is a continuous education. You have to keep on learning, keep on developing new materials, keep on using new pedagogies. Developing new pedagogies will become very, very important. So this lifelong learning system has to be adopted everywhere. So our mission, in fact, should be, we should prepare future-ready talent and enterprise for the new digital Indian economy. हम सभी लोग कहते हैं कि India is going to be leader of tomorrow. Global leader जो है यही number 1 पर आएगा. वो तभी होगा जब उसके पास ये knowledge and skills which are very essential as far as technology is concerned, जब उसके पास ये होगी. So therefore we should support digital learning, and futuristic talent development is my responsibility as a teacher. Everyone has to think like this. So therefore, even the assessment, जो हम ये कहते हैं, have examination at the end of the course is a poor strategy. Globally, it has been discarded. But हम अभी भी करते हैं कि जब तक final exam नहीं लेंगे, तो तब तक तो कुछ पढ़ाया ही नहीं, मतलब उसका कोई मतलब नहीं. This is changing. If you go to US, if you go to UK, if you go to Germany, you will find that the examination is abundant actually. और हम उसको फिर से पढ़ा रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्यों. So this has to change. The use of technology has to be done, which will help us, which will motivate students and engage them also, and better learning bhi hogi, and can be used for assessment of existing knowledge, check students' understanding, his attainment, and how he is learning will become very, very important. So we need to have a timetable. When we have to teach it, how we have to teach it, what is the content that is to be done, what type of quizzes have to be framed, assignments, projects have to be given to the students, which can be assessed using technology. Where the technology is also being used will become very, very essential. So therefore, the assessment for online courses, in fact, is assessment becomes still more important. अगर हम ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज देना चाहते हैं और हम ग्लोबल मार्केट को देखना चाहते हैं तो हम उसको एसेस किस तरीके से करें has become very, very important. There are different methods of assessment. It is not only formative and summative जो हम बात करते हैं. There is a diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, confirmative assessment, summative assessment, ipsative assessment. This is what we need to understand, learn, create tasks for it, and then understand how the student is learning. एक और चीज जो बड़ी अच्छी बात हो गई है, when we look at this technology enabled learning, ब्लूम ने कहा था कि तीन डोमेन्स हैं. एक कॉग्निटिव डोमेन जिसमें उसने 6 लेवल्स दिखा दी थी, एक उसने एफर्मेटिव डोमेन जिसको हम बिहेवियरल डोमेन भी कहते हैं वो थी, और तीसरा था साइकोमोटर डोमेन जिसको कि स्किल असेसमेंट के लिए कहा जाता था. दिस technology enabled learning has 4 domains. It also assesses the communication assessment. So this is much better compared to what we were originally doing, which was done earlier. And besides this, it does it with speed, accuracy, it eliminates the chances of malpractice, streamlines hiring, guarantees a positive candidate experience, accelerates test delivery and result processing, saves time and effort. And आप research कर सकते हैं उस additional time में, आप innovation use कर सकते हैं, आप नए entrepreneurs बना सकते हैं. This is आपका student should become CEO of a company which he is establishing while he is in the institution. जब आप वो कर पाएंगे, that means your system is a good system and you are doing a good job. So जब हम इसको टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड लर्निंग को बात करते हैं, so we will be पहले 3 जो है, remember, understand, applying, this is what is the lower order domain, cognitive learning outcomes. But अगर आपको analyzing, evaluation, creating में जाना है, it will be necessary that we use tools which are considered to be technology enabled tools. We talk about projects, we talk about portfolios, we talk about simulations, we talk about presentations, virtual laboratories, case studies, and this is what is included in technology enabled learning. हमको ये करना ही पड़ेगा अगर हमें अपने students को higher order learning की तरफ ले जाना है. So therefore, one can also retain and evolve best practices जो आप करते आए हैं, along with these new things, where the digital platforms will help you in analytics, discussions, and creating groups who work in certain areas on projects, and the summative examination with more weightage to alternative assessment approaches will take place. So therefore, your whole system of education has to be revamped and has to be done with open mind. Unfortunately, ज़्यादातर क्योंकि हम जो है हमने सीखा है ऐसे ही, हमारे टीचर्स ने 40 साल पहले हमको ऐसे सिखाया था, हमें भी ऐसे ही करना है, is not necessary actually, and we need to change. Unless we change, we will not be able to bring change in the system. अगर winning situation ये देखते हैं हम, जो एक technology enabled learning से हो सकती है, it is using innovative pedagogy, enable competency based learning approach to develop the skills. And these skills are developed when you use technology. Critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, creativity, imagination, innovation, entrepreneurship. ये तभी हो सकता है जब आप इन चीजों को use करें. We have a lab in our university, and you can see that the students work in that lab of simulation, which is established in collaboration with one of the industries, alternate industries. you can see that how new ideas are being generated by children, and really it is mind-boggling. And this is what needs to be done in every place, everywhere, and all the methods of assessments have to be incorporated into our teaching learning process. It will save your time, it will save your effort, there will be a quick response to the students, higher order learning will be achieved, and that is what is required actually. And therefore एक और चीज है, अगर आपको लगता है कि किसी स्टूडेंट ने बहुत अच्छा किया है, उसका नाम बता के कह दीजिएगा, just post a small chat box में लिख दीजिएगा कि the best assignment which I have seen is from this student, and you will see that how much encouragement he will get from different people. So if you look at, zoom into the future, you will find that this fourth industrial revolution which is coming up, there will be exponential increase in digital and cyber technologies. There will be smart machines which are automated completely, and the systems. You will have new media ecology taking present. You will have superstructural organization. The current structure of organization will completely vanish. New current global trends will grow actually. And this is where we need to address so that our students are ready for this fourth industrial revolution. And the demand for higher cognitive skills in 2030, जो अभी से कहा जा रहा है, is creativity, critical thinking, decision making, and complex information processing will become essential if we are looking at this particular role. So therefore, the role of technology for teaching enabled learning is the transfer of a passive classroom into an engaged and active interactive classroom. It provides structured instructions and instructional material, makes teacher and student more organized, therefore more efficient. And therefore the assessment of learning takes place, so you know, and you are saving time and effort in that particular case. And you will be able to do lot many things. So how technology is improving education is, teachers share ideas and resources. उनको वो refine करते जाते हैं, because peers उनको support करते हैं. You have collaborations. It also improves the skills of students, research skills of students. So you develop new material, you have a credible system. All this is happening. So you will be in a position to brand your university or institution or the college, which is very, very essential. For students, in fact, asking right questions. जो स्टूडेंट क्लास में बैठा है वो नॉर्मली शाई रहता है, सवाल नहीं पूछता, इस डर से कहीं ये गलत क्वेश्चन तो नहीं, लेकिन चैट बॉक्स में तो वो डाल सकता है. So therefore he is encouraged to ask the right questions in fact. So therefore solving assignments with which will develop critical thinking, develop critical, वो नकल नहीं कर सकता है जब वो इंडिविजुअली ये प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है, और जब वो उसके जो कोलीग्स हैं, जो बाकी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, peer assessment हो रही है, तो वो बता देंगे कि ये आइडिया वहां से लिया गया है. So therefore he has to think critically and become creative and lifelong learner in this process. So therefore the originality, fluency, flexibility, all these things will be there in order to become a better student. And it will help to interpret, explain, analyze, evaluate, self-regulate as far as decision making is concerned. And these are higher order skills which are important. So therefore the potential of ICT or these digital technologies or technology enabled learning is, you have access, you have the community linkage, you have the planning, proper planning, you have lifelong learning skills developing, you have skills which are very important. It helps us in teaching, it helps in learning, it is more efficient. So therefore, what is stopping us from moving towards this side is very, very important. And fortunately, NEP 2020 focuses on technology integration and use. And we should integrate, we should make our teaching technology enabled learning only. And this is what is important. And if we do this, it will become personalized education. It will become modular education. It will become with improved content. It will have adaptability. Cheap as content available on mobiles पर भी है. जैसे कल ही प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने जो मैंने कहा कि 80 करोड़ फोन्स हमारे सिस्टम में इस समय है, कंट्री में है. So that means this we can use this technology, and it should be mobile friendly. So all these things can be done. So the 8 principles of effective online teaching framework would be: the student faculty contact is very, very essential. Uske bagair wo nahi ho sakta hai. Somebody has to guide him. So the technology application will become important. Diversified learning will become important. You can give him material. You can ask him to do project. You can ask him to prepare a presentation. You can ask him to submit an assignment on certain ideas. क्या आप सोचते हैं? So therefore, there will be higher expectation, time on task, prompt feedback, active learning, collaborative e-learning. All these things will happen. These are 8 essential principles on which it works, and therefore it is quite useful for the students, which is very important. Now, how do we implement it? हम एक साथ सारे सिस्टम को बदल नहीं सकते. सारे वो कहते हैं ना कि आज सारे बल्ब्स को मैं बदल दूंगा एक दिन में. But do it in phases. You also need to learn. You will also evolve. You will also have to work hard. You will also have to understand how a content is developed. So do it in phases. Develop your policy and SOPs in the institution, which will become important. There is a national policy. कल UGC भी कुछ policy और कुछ SOPs आपको बताएगी कि इनको करना है. Under those SOPs, you will also have to create कि institutional level पर आपका क्या policy है, क्या SOPs बनाए हैं, and maybe at the departmental level or at an individual level, हर एक टीचर की क्या क्या responsibility है, हर student को किस तरीके से देखना है, क्या infrastructure होना चाहिए, and this is becoming very, very important. So therefore, you start working on it right from now. Train teachers on use of technology, and we have done it as some of my colleagues are listening, and we have done it in a very short duration of time. We were the first in the country to start the online classes on March 13th, actually. While lockdown came in on 23rd of March, लेकिन 13 से ही हमने शुरू कर दिया. So this is, if you are prepared for it, focus on technology use for delivery and then integrate. जो हमने किया है, use technology for assessment and analytics. Many people have to do it still at this stage. Development of content. Allow experimentation. We can fail. There's no problem in this. But experimentation to करनी है. Create your own best practices. मैं कैसे करता हूँ ये जरूरी नहीं है कि आप भी वैसे ही करना है, आपको भी करना है. लेकिन create your own best practices जिससे कि आपको लगता है कि ये करना चाहिए. And learn from institutions. Go and train your teachers in institutions which are meant for NITTR. वो इस तरीके की institutions country में है, you can have that. Another strategy which is very, very important is following are some of the strategies and methods which can be integrated with technology-enabled learning and assessment for learning in an online mode. And these are: give them projects, problem solving, case studies, portfolio creation, research projects, presentations, discussion, situation analysis, concept mapping, mind mapping, reflective writing, digital posters, digital projects, blogging, all this, creating videos, podcasting, this will become necessary in future. And therefore, the evidences of learning are manifested in the form of videos, PPTs, answer sheets, reports, pictures, certificates. और जब आपको ये लगेगा कि हाँ इसने अच्छा किया है, तो automatically it means that you have been able to integrate this technology-enabled learning, technology in your learning processes effectively. So this is the outcome of this. So therefore, immediately what we can do is, there are a lot of material is available. Slideshow presentations with multimedia, podcasts can be used, virtual tours can be done. Share your class schedule online and then work together. Make your teaching videos, gamification, e-content creation, and therefore this, and you will also have to contribute to developing technologies and developing these technologies and integrating them in the teaching learning process will become very, very essential, which is important. It has to be done at the school level, institution level, university level, at all levels, in fact, and use whatever material is available initially. The print hai, radio hai, TV hai, mobile, online hai, combination of these. यूज देम। हमने यूज किया, व्हाट्सएप भी यूज किया, हम फेसबुक भी यूज करते हैं, हम टीम्स, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स को भी यूज करते हैं, हमने ब्लैक बोर्ड को यूज किया, हमने कनवास को यूज किया. All these are platforms. So therefore, use all the technologies which are available, and then you also learn according over a period of time, and then decide which one is the most effective. आप जो मेथड होगा शायद मेरे मेथड से डिफरेंट होगा. Maybe I choose a different way of handling technology. So this is what is essential. Everyone should experiment. So the first thing is substitute something, combine certain things, adopt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, reverse, and then you will find that there will be an impact of modern technology in education. There are pros and cons. हम ये नहीं कहते हैं कि इसमें नुकसान नहीं है. बहुत सारे लोगों ने कहा है कि writing skills कम होती है. So there will be definitely declining writing skills. Possibility of cheating लोगों ने कहा है, but this has been eliminated. लोग अब कहने लगे, if we have a properly proctored system of assessment and examination, ये चीजें खत्म हो जाती हैं. Lack of focus and concentration. कि student or teachers, the students will not be really focusing on what we are teaching. It is not true कि आपके assessments, आपके assignments, आपके projects, आपके बाकी जो चीजें हैं, वो आप किस तरीके से बनवाते हैं, उनसे तो वो तो आपसे ही सीखना पड़ेगा उससे. Learning of technology consumes time also, and therefore you have to do it. कहते हैं कि but इसके बगैर तो हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते. You think about something कि अगर ये presentation हम नहीं बना पाते, we chooses computer और laptop, आज से 50 साल पहले तो ये नहीं हो पाता. तो मैं इतने लोगों को जो अपने अपने घरों में से भी बैठे हैं, मैं उनके साथ ये शेयर नहीं कर सकता. So this is the advantage of learning technology. So the cost of deployment of technology, some people say that it is high, but over a period of time it is becoming lower, especially when a new version of technology comes. The old version becomes very cheap, and वो तब तक outdated नहीं हुआ होता है. One can use that also. Health may be getting affected. Some students cannot afford. So therefore ऐसा भी बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. हमने देखा है कि we have used it, and it has helped us in remaining away from COVID-19 also. So therefore these disadvantages जो है वो इतने serious नहीं है, लेकिन benefits इसके देख लीजिएगा. It helps students to understand and absorb. The visual learners need images to see. आया है, WhatsApp आया है, ट्रेनमैन आया है, आरोग्य सेतु आया है. ऐसी ही बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशंस आई हैं जिनको हम यूज कर रहे हैं. ये नए गैजेट्स हैं. आज से 2 साल पहले या 1 साल पहले तो ये आरोग्य सेतु तो था ही नहीं. 5 साल पहले तो ओला भी नहीं था. So we have learned it, and things will keep on coming. और हमको वो सीखना ही पड़ेगा कि किस तरीके से. बेसिक चीजें तो वही रहती हैं, but how do we address them, how do we integrate them will become very important. Quizzes, tests, activities, assessments can be carried out very easily using technology. Students can learn the use of technology also. New versions make old versions affordable. Students and professionals make use of computer applications, make PPTs, Excel sheets, and do a lot of research. Using technology in schools can equip students for higher education, research, and workplaces. Educational system has been transformed owing to ever advanced technology. So today, most of the technologies which we are talking about, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, बाकी चीजें, blockchains, machine learning, सारे integrate होने लगी हैं, and therefore new systems will be still more complex. और हमें अभी से उनको सीखना है. There are advantages. Unexpected areas of growth can happen, and they are beneficial for both teacher and students. Determines how, when, what, where, all this is beneficial. Personalized learning is taking place. आप brighter students को कुछ additional काम भी दे सकते हैं कि ये आप करके लाएगा, so that या उन्होंने जल्दी खत्म कर लिया. अगर मैंने खत्म जल्दी कर लिया, so I can move faster actually. Provide 21st century workforce skills and competency. Make students responsible for their own learning. Develop lifelong skills and love for learning. एक और चीज, सारे लोग कहते हैं बच्चों का ये बस्ता जो है इतना भारी हो गया है, हमें समझ में नहीं आता है, उनके कमर झुक गई है. आप टैब को जिसके 100 ग्राम भी नहीं है, उसको दे दीजिएगा. I had suggested it in tab also, and now this is the time that 100 ग्राम का टैब जिसमें प्रीलोडेड मटेरियल हो, वो आगे बढ़ता जाएगा और आगे बढ़ता जाएगा. And some student who have capability can do this in less time and move to the next level. तो आप देख लीजिएगा, if you go to US, you will find that student of 11, 12 years can be doing research also. So therefore, this is an opportunity for our students, to those students, for brighter students to move much faster. दूसरा चीज, कितनी किताबें हम प्रिंट करते हैं, कितना ट्रांसपोर्ट उसको करना पड़ता है, कितनी स्टोरेज स्पेसेस बनती हैं, कितनी दुकानें उससे चलती हैं, एंड देन फाइनली आप अगर इसको, और कितने पेड़ हम काटते हैं, आप ये देख लो. ये सारी चीजें खत्म हो जाएंगी अगर हमने उसे 100 ग्राम का टैब दे दिया, जो कि वो 5 साल तक चला सकता है. मिनिमम लाइफ उसकी उतनी रहेगी. So therefore, we will be actually making the system sustainable also, which is important. So it has also been seen that अगर हम proper analytics को use करें, which is artificial intelligence based analytics, we can see the behavior and emotional stability of a person also. किस तरीके से वो कीज दबाता है, कितना confusion उसके दिमाग में है, you can just judge it in fact also. या proctored system में है, वो अगर आंख भी उठा रहा है तो उसकी आंख किस तरीके से उठी, क्या वो नकल तो नहीं कर रहा है. You can just check it actually very effectively. Use especially, it is very useful for students who are shy students. So therefore, it supports collaboration, and there are many more. I thought that we can just list some of them here, and these are the benefits which we have. So if we summarize these benefits, it is convenient, self-service, on-demand, private learning, self-paced, flexibility. These are embedded as far as convenience is concerned. Cost, it is cost effective. Virtual learning environments will make it cost effective. And therefore, the cost of education, जो कि हम कभी कभी फीस ज्यादा बना देते हैं कई यूनिवर्सिटीज में, वो कंट्रोल में आ जाएगा. Share lessons among institutions and peers, reduces material cost, reduces travel and accommodation cost. So I am addressing to all of you, and you know that, see, without moving, without transportation, without anything, we are in a position to get benefit of this presentation. Again, consistent, central control of content, same quality of content for all, same quality of education for all, media reach, easier to understand and more engaging. इसमें आप वीडियो भी रख सकते हैं, आप इसमें एनिमेशन रख सकते हैं, आप इसमें सिमुलेशन इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. All this can happen, and therefore it becomes media rich also. Repeatability, as many times as you like. Same presentation रहेगी, इसमें बदलेगा कुछ भी नहीं. Easier to monitor progress, less administrative work, can be more precise. So these are some of the benefits, if we summarize them, can take place. So the technology-enabled learning will give us a skill set, which are all these 3 skill sets: learning and innovative skills, digital skills, and life skills, जो हम बात कर रहे थे. And it will develop, using the innovative pedagogies, can develop critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, creativity, imagination, innovation, communication, and also openness. So therefore, the universities have to play, as far as NEP 20 is concerned, I think universities have to play a very leading role as far as education 4 is concerned. We have to have digital literacy, digital hygiene, social responsibility, commitment to sustainability. ये हमारे लिए है. Critical assessment of core skills for an educated person of 21st century. Role of social sciences, ethics, and humanities. And you must have seen the NEP talks about it, that we must have multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary type of education. Not only, we do not need verticals only, we need well-grounded people in the society. Forever learning with public-private partnerships can take place. It will make everybody responsible. Training to manage information, and information will become our responsibility. So if we want to really implement this NEP 2020 in its true spirit, we will be basically implementing what is talked about as education. There are challenge, and personally I see there is only one challenge. The challenge is to train teachers, because teachers से जब आप बात करेंगे वो कहें मेरे पास टाइम कब है कि मैं ट्रेनिंग पर जाऊं, या lack of access, मेरे पास नहीं है, लैपटॉप नहीं, lack of resources, lack of expertise, lack of support, ये चीजें वो कहते हैं. लेकिन आजकल तो आप अपने मोबाइल पर बैठ के भी ये सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं. तो देखो ये जो है ये सारी चीजें ओवरकम की जा सकती है. The challenge is, yes, training teachers. We need to train them in use of technology initially, and then integrating technology in our educational system will become very, very important, which is very essential. So therefore, the issues will be learning to work on different platforms, credit transfers karne chahiye, developing quality e-content, focus on student learning should be our aim, and this can happen when we skill ourselves, reskill ourselves. कुछ चीजें obsolete हो जाएंगी तो de-skill कर लो अपने को, and then reskill with the latest technologies and have focus on that. जो इस समय हो रहा है उसको भी आपको address करना होगा, which will become very, very important. So therefore, the issues faced by the higher education जो आज इस कोविड के समय में आ गया है, admissions were affected, classroom delivery, class tests, assignments, सब चीजें affect होगी, placement से affect होगी, internship affect होगी. But if we use these technologies, I'm sure that we will be in a position to address all of them. And those who were digitally ready have gone ahead, and learning of students continued in those institutions, schools, or universities. So this is what is important. So the purpose is to improve, have efficiency and effectiveness of the system, which is very, very important. And the benefits definitely will be enhancing experience, increase in revenue. अगर आपका institution अच्छा कर रहा है तो revenue भी अच्छे आ जाएंगे, more students will get there, and decrease in the cost of education होगा per student. कहते हैं कि चर्चिल कहता था to improve is to change. You have to keep on improving. और improvement क्या होती है? Change, आप change कर लेते हैं. जो आपका current status है उसको आप change कर रहे हैं. And to be perfect is to change often. So अगर आप perfect रहना चाहते हैं तो हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ आप नई चीज सीखते रहिएगा, और वो important है. So this is what is important. So the law of change is, Darwin ने ये कहा था, it is not the strongest species that survive, not the most intelligent also, but the one who is most responsive to change, वो survive कर जाते हैं. So अगर हम इस समय change लाते हैं, अच्छा करने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो हम survive करेंगे. और ये चेंज बहुत जल्दी आनी चाहिए. आप ये नहीं कह सकते मैं चल रहा हूँ, सीख रहा हूँ, पीछे से एक और गाड़ी आएगी, नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आएगी, वो तो क्रैश करते हुए आगे निकल जाएगी. हमको ये उससे भी ज्यादा स्पीड से सीखना पड़ेगा, इस चेंज को अडॉप्ट करना पड़ेगा, और अपने टीचर्स को, अपने स्टूडेंट्स को सिखाना पड़ेगा. So the need of hour is technology is and will completely embrace the educational sector shortly. क्या हम इसके लिए तैयार हैं? So the change and change to survive is essential, and this change is towards technology-enabled learning, which is education core. So we have been able to survive this COVID-19 ने जो 10 साल बाद होता है या 5 साल बाद होता है, उसने तो वो 1 महीने में करके दिखा दिया. हम में कैपेबिलिटी है. We have all the ingredients just इस change के लिए. Are we now using them effectively, which is important. And this can help us in academic process, admission process, campus recruitment, online assessment, short test preparation, examination, semester examination, and immediate evaluation. All this can happen using this technology. And you can see the benefits of this technology which it gives, which I enumerated earlier also. So therefore, the future of education is all about personalized education, an education जहाँ man and machine alignment है, जहाँ पर हम lifelong learning की बात करते हैं, and to learn to play a better role in the society. हम जो सीख रहे हैं उसका usage, उस skill का, उस knowledge का हमारी society में क्या usage है, are we innovators, are we entrepreneurs, will become very, very important. We have to address learning of this generation. Look at this, curiosity. And this is what we are supposed to teach. And we should start right from this age. This is becoming very, very essential. And if we are able to address and skill them with the technology at this age, I'm sure that they will make miracles. And I know it is not very easy to be an inspiring teacher, but all of us can do it. We have the capability. We have seen it in our university also, that this is possible and can be done, which is very, very important. And the journey of 100 miles begins with a single step is important. मैं तो ये मानता हूँ कि technology is a gift of God. We should accept it. बिल्कुल सोचना भी नहीं चाहिए कि प्रसाद मिलता है उसे बस ग्रहण करना है, which is very, very essential. So these are some of the references which we have. Thank you very much for your kind attention and patient hearing. Thank you. Yes. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Manjushri ma'am.
हाँ जी.
सर मैं पूछता हूँ सर, आपके एक छात्र हैं सर, उनका है, मैं एक बार देखता हूँ, अगर वो प्रोग्राम में है तो मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो स्वयं ही पूछें. डॉक्टर मनीष कुमार सर, इन्होंने एनआईटी हमीरपुर से आपने एक सेंटर एस्टेब्लिश किया था फॉर एनर्जी एंड एनवायरनमेंट, वहां से इन्होंने पढ़ाई की है सर. अगर डॉक्टर मनीष हैं तो आई विल रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर मनीष टू प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेश्चन योरसेल्फ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me a chance to interact with sir. Sir, नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
मुझे आपसे सर बात करके बड़ी खुशी हो रही है क्योंकि
शक्ल दिखा दूं मनीष.
सर अभी मैं रूम पे हूँ तो
कोई बात नहीं. हाँ
सर, 2009 में आपने वहाँ पे सेंटर फॉर एनर्जी एंड एनवायरनमेंट एस्टेब्लिश किया था, आपको याद होगी. प्रोफेसर चंदेल सर वहाँ के हेड भी थे.
चंदेल साहब थे.
हाँ जी सर, मैंने सर वहाँ से एमटेक की है. फिर उसके बाद सर मैंने पीएचडी की आईआईटी रुड़की से, जो करंटली मैं अभी पोस्ट डॉक फेलो हूँ सर आईआईटी बॉम्बे में.
गुड.
तो सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि शायद आपको याद भी होगा, उस सेंटर को दोबारा से रीएस्टेब्लिश करने की अभी कोशिश चली थी, तो आपने उस मोमेंट में काफी साथ दिया था हमारा. तो जो हमने उसमें सिग्नेचर कैंपेन चलाया था. और तो सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे कि आपको पता है कि एनर्जी, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी टेक्नोलॉजी में बहुत कुछ हो रहा है सब जगह, बट हमारी स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज काफी पीछे हैं इस एरिया में. जैसे कि आपको पता है आईआईटीज वगैरह तो काफी इसमें काम कर रही हैं, बट ऐसा क्यों है कि हमारी न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में भी इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च की बात हुई है, बट जो स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं वहाँ पे आपको सेंटर्स ना के बराबर दिखेंगे रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी टेक्नोलॉजीज में. और बात जब आती है कि जैसे कि अगर हम आईआईटी से एनआईटी से पढ़ के निकल भी जाते हैं अगर इन सेंटर से, तो बाद में उनको अकोमोडेट करने में भी बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है. तो आपकी क्या व्यूज हैं इसमें, क्या थॉट्स हैं इसमें, कैसे इस चीज को ठीक किया जा सकता है?
क्या होता है कि जब कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आती हैं, हम उस समय उसमें रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की बात कर रहे थे, सोलर की बात कर रहे थे, विंड की बात कर रहे थे, तो शायद मार्केट उसके लिए तैयार नहीं है. तो इट इज अ गुड थिंग दैट हमने एक फ्यूचरिस्टिक होके कुछ चीज तैयार की है, उनको स्किल सेट दिया है. एंड आई एम श्योर दैट नाउ यस्टरडे इनफैक्ट अगर आप देखेंगे कल के अखबार में, उसमें ये लिखा था आईआईटी कानपुर ने एनर्जी एंड एनवायरनमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए एक अलग से सेंटर खोला है, विच इज अ मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी सेंटर. And this shows that we were much ahead of them, even IITs, and maybe temporarily थोड़ी देर के लिए वो नहीं है. This is considered, renewable energy is considered among 12 disruptive technologies, and we should use them. We should be part of this revolution which is taking place in the energy sector. And अगर हम इसको कर सकते हैं तो बहुत सारी चीजें जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं वो आप सिस्टम को सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए ले जा सकते हैं. अगर आप यूएन के 17 सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स को देखेंगे, एनर्जी इज वन ऑफ देम एक्चुअली. तो therefore जो हम उस समय 2009 में सोचे थे और इम्प्लीमेंट करने की भी कोशिश की थी, वो शायद लोग अब सोचने लगे हैं. आई एम श्योर दैट
अनम्यूट नहीं होते.
people will definitely make use of it, and it will be a good thing in future also. Any other question? ये तो इस पर नहीं था.
डॉक्टर मंजूश्री मैम, आप
हेलो.
हाँ मैम, आपकी आवाज आ रही है मैम.
हाँ, क्योंकि लैपटॉप अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा है. ओके. Actually, sir, it was a fantastic explanation. You have really covered each and every aspect of use of technology, and really you have given us food for thought, and you have explained each and every query also which must have come up in our minds. But still, sir, अभी आपने देखा कि मैं खुद को अनम्यूट नहीं कर पा रही थी, और आपने देखा कि जैसे ही मेरे बोलने की बारी आई, ऑटोमेटिक something happened and I lost connectivity. तो ये सिनेरियो मुझे लगता है कि अभी हम लोग जब ऑनलाइन लर्निंग की बातें कर रहे हैं, तो मेरे पास एक थोड़ा सा एक डेटा है जो नवंबर 2019 में पब्लिश हुआ है, and it says that only 4.4% of households have computers, as against 23.4% of urban households, and nearly 14.9%. ये आपने बात की थी, लेकिन फिर भी
मैं कल की बात कर रहा हूँ, कल शाम की बात कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ,
हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने ये कहा कि 80 करोड़ मोबाइल हमारे सिस्टम में आज के दिन है.
हाँ,
ठीक है ना. तो इसका मतलब है कि 80 करोड़ बच्चे तो नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं हमारे सिस्टम में. तो अगर हमें इसको एजुकेशन में लाना है, मैं तो एजुकेशन की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो आसानी से हम मोबाइल्स को यूज कर सकते हैं और इसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, गवर्नमेंट विल हैव टू टेक इनिशिएटिव. उनकी 2 रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है. कनेक्टिविटी और इंटरनेट वहां तक पहुंचाना, जो रिमोटेस्ट कॉर्नर भी हो हमारे देश में, वहां तक पहुंचाने का जिम्मेवारी गवर्नमेंट की. तो therefore we must have completely networked system. ये जो आपने कहा कि मैं कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाई, ये टीचिंग प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, और मुझे लगता है over a period of time this will also vanish. We will have good connectivity all across the country, even in the remotest school in the country, and with good sufficient internet bandwidth. हर जगह तो जरूरत नहीं है कि 5G की जरूरत नहीं है. Even this can be transmitted over 3G और 2G, जहां पर कि हम टीवी की बात कर रहे हैं या बाकी चीजें बात कर रहे हैं. So there are different technologies which are cheaper technologies which can be done. But yes, government has to play a very important role as far as networking and connectivity is concerned, and providing that internet, sufficient internet bandwidth to each and every school in the country. I think it should become a national agenda कि कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ानी है और हर कोने तक हमें ये पहुंचाना है.
Thank you, sir.
हर स्कूल के पास.
And I think Ravindra Kanhere sir wants to ask a question. Please unmute him.
रविंद्र सर, आप खुद को अनम्यूट.
हाँ, नमस्कार जी. आपका बहुत अच्छा एक्सप्लेनेशन था. टेक्नोलॉजी की हमको जरूरत भी है. एक छोटा सा एक सजेशन एक जगह से आया है, वो मैं चाहता हूँ इस मंच पे बता दूं. भारतीय रेलवे ने जो फाइबर बिछाए हैं वो पूरे इंडिया में बिछे हुए हैं, और वो जिस पाइप में है वहाँ पर बहुत गुंजाइश है डेटा सप्लाई की. तो मेरा अनुरोध केवल ये है कि एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट अगर उनसे टाई अप करेगा, तो रेलवे अगर हमको कनेक्टिविटी सब स्टेशंस पे देते हैं तो बहुत इजीली कनेक्टिविटी स्पीड से मिल जाएगी, क्योंकि उन्होंने अच्छा अपना सिस्टम डेवलप कर रखा है और रेलवे को एडिशनल बेनिफिट भी मिलेगा. तो जो फाइबर उनका बिछा हुआ है उस कैपेसिटी का उपयोग हायर एजुकेशन को या एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट को करना चाहिए. ये सजेशन कई जगह से आया है. मैं चाहता हूं कि इसको कोलैबोरेट कर लिया जाए.
एक तो ये है. दूसरा उसमें ये चीज है कि जनरली जो आपके स्टेशंस हैं वो बड़े-बड़े स्टेशन, बड़े-बड़े टाउन्स तक ही है, लेकिन there
नहीं,
are
सर,
villages,
sorry,
there are
मैं
villages
डिस्टर्ब कर
जो
रहा हूँ।
very far off है।
कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी तक उन्होंने पूरा नेटवर्क फाइबर फैलाया है, और उसमें जो आउटलेट दिए जाते हैं वो बड़े शहरों में तो हैं ही, छोटी जगह पे भी हैं उनके। और मेरी मंत्रालय में कुछ अधिकारियों से बात हुई थी, उन्होंने कहा एज ऑफ नाउ वी आर नॉट हैविंग सच पॉलिसी। अगर पॉलिसी लेवल पे ये हो जाएगा तो हमें बहुत सुविधा हो जाएगी, ये मेरा कहना।
बिल्कुल, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि गवर्नमेंट की अब ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हर कोने तक कहीं पर भी कोई है तो वहां तक पहुंचा दे। हम देखिए किसानों का आज आप देख लीजिएगा, दे आर यूजिंग मोबाइल्स इन ऑर्डर टू गेट इंफॉर्मेशन, एडवाइसेस, ऑल दिस इज हैपनिंग एक्चुअली एंड वी कैन डू इट। ऐसा नहीं है, यस वो एक इंडिविजुअल सी बात होती है, लेकिन यहाँ जब हम स्कूल्स की बात करते हैं, एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं, तो probably the amount of internet connectivity bandwidth वो थोड़ी सी बढ़ जा सकती है।
And moreover, the teachers' training is required for this. The teachers are not trained to use
I
the
personally
technology.
said that is the only challenge actually.
Yes.
मैं
For
मुझे
all the refresher course and courses which are conducted for the teachers, use of technology must be included in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fully agree.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? सर, और ये रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में कंटेंट कब तक तैयार हो जाएगा? क्योंकि उसके लिए भी काफी टाइम, मोबाइल या जितनी हम टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करते हैं, इंग्लिश में ज्यादा कंटेंट अवेलेबल हैं, और हम लोग जब टाइमलाइन की बात कर रहे हैं तो कब तक ये सारा रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में शायद कब तक अवेलेबल हो जाएगा?
मेरे ख्याल में सभी अल्टीमेटली क्या है कि दिस इज अ पॉलिसी, और ये हुआ है कि हम सारे रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में ये मटेरियल अवेलेबल करा देंगे जो टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड है। इसमें द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स विल आल्सो हैव टू प्ले ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, क्योंकि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में तो वो ऐसे सारे लोग नहीं बैठे हैं जो, so I think every state will have to contribute, create those task forces, create those expert groups जो कि hundreds of languages actually, और major languages कम से कम 20-25 तो है ही, तो किस तरीके से हम इसको कर लेते हैं will become very very important. I think people have, it will simultaneously start as soon as this implementation plan is made ready. The state governments will have a stake in this, and therefore I'm sure that all of them will work positively and contribute in doing this.
थैंक यू सर। और जब हम डेटा प्रोटेक्शन की बात करते हैं या फिर हम अपना यूनिक सेलिंग पॉइंट की बात करते हैं, तो जब ये क्योंकि बच्चों की बात है तो मे बी दे शुड बी trained as far as data protection is concerned. The institution should also take care.
That is what I'm saying. The integration of all these new technologies, artificial intelligence, cyber security, development of new technologies, ये सारी चीजें integrate होनी चाहिए और हर एक area में होनी चाहिए. Like in our university, we have said that everyone, whoever, irrespective of the discipline in which he is admitted, he or she is admitted, को ये कोर्सेज करनी ही करनी। 60% जो उसका डोमेन एरिया है उसमें वो पढ़ाई करे, और 40% शुड बी बिसाइड्स दिस डोमेन एरिया, जिसमें ये टेक्नोलॉजीज का पार्ट भी होना चाहिए, एंड ही माइट हैव पैशन टू लर्न म्यूजिक, लॉ, डांस, व्हाटएवर ही वांट्स टू डू, लेट हिम डू इट। तो ये हमने इंटीग्रेट कर दिया है। तो देयरफॉर नोबडी इज स्टॉपिंग यू। अब ये जब पॉलिसी आ गई है, ईच इंस्टीट्यूशन कैन स्टार्ट मेकिंग देयर ओन एसओपीज एंड इम्प्लीमेंट। मुझे लगता है कि दिस कैन बी।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। एनीवन एल्स?
मैम एक क्वेश्चन चैट में सर आनंद मिश्रा जी हैं जुड़े हुए थे, और राजकुमार ठाकुर, इन दोनों का क्वेश्चन सिमिलर है सर। दे आर आस्किंग कि कहीं एक डिजिटल डिवाइड तो नहीं होगा, जैसे अभी मैम ने भी कनेक्टिविटी का इशू रखा, तो रूरल लोग या फार्मर्स या वहां पर कनेक्टिविटी की प्रॉब्लम के कारण अगर टेक्नोलॉजी आती है तो टेक्नोलॉजी का डेमोक्रेटाइजेशन भी होना चाहिए। कहीं हम इसके कारण एक और डिवाइड तो नहीं देखेंगे अगले कुछ वर्ष?
इट इज नॉट डिजिटल डिवाइड विल नॉट हैपन बिकॉज हम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर रहे हैं फॉर टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस. It will happen because the connectivity is not there. So therefore, what I said, there are 2-3 challenges. One is the connectivity, sufficient internet bandwidth, and the third is the teacher training. ये 3 चीजें हैं. बाकी कोई चीजें डिजिटल डिवाइड क्रिएट नहीं करेंगी. टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड लर्निंग इनफैक्ट इनको क्लोज आएगी. It will make it affordable. It will make it accessible actually, provided that connectivity is there. Yes, वो आज भी अलग है. और हमें जितना जल्दी, मुझे लगता है कि अगले 2-3 साल में हमें पूरा बिछा देना चाहिए जाल. जो अभी बात हो रही थी, रेलवेज ने कुछ किया है, या पावर ग्रिड ने किया है, रिलायंस ने किया है. वी शुड इंटीग्रेट ऑल दिस इन द नेशनल इंटरेस्ट एंड गिव कनेक्टिविटी टू एवरीवन.
थैंक यू सर. सर, आपने राइटिंग स्किल की बात की थी, उसमें मुझे ये कहना है कि इतना कॉपी पेस्टिंग हो रहा है रिसर्च में, या छोटे बच्चों से लेके इवन इफ यू गिव देम एन एसे टू राइट, दे विल गेट द पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम द इंटरनेट. तो कहीं हम अपनी इमेजिनेशन जो है या क्रिएटिविटी जो है वो खोते तो नहीं जा रहे? हम क्रिएटिविटी और इनोवेशन की बात कर रहे हैं.
मैं बताऊंगा, क्योंकि दिस इज बिकॉज हमने अभी अपना असेसमेंट सिस्टम चालू नहीं किया है. We are still with the examination system. और जहां पर क्यों एग्जामिनेशन में उसको वो एक लिख के देना है, खत्म हो गया. जिस दिन हम असेसमेंट पर आएंगे, जिस दिन हम उसको हर दिन की प्रोग्रेस देखेंगे, ये चीजें भी खत्म हो जाएंगी. एंड नाउ यू नो दैट व्हेन वी इनिशियली रिसर्च में ये शुरू किया गया, तो हमने वो प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर्स आ गए, उससे चेक किया. ये भी खत्म हो जाएगा. ये छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं. जब आप नया सिस्टम अडॉप्ट करते हैं, कुछ टीचिंग ट्रबल्स होती हैं, बट अल्टीमेटली द डे वी स्टार्ट यूजिंग असेसमेंट, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पेयर असेसमेंट, सारे लोग इसको इसका ये सब चीजें खत्म हो जाएंगी. एंड पीपल विल स्टार्ट राइटिंग essays, writing debates, participating in debates and all those things, जो कि बहुत important है, and which will create skills which are considered to be 21st century skills.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, everyone. We really had a great discussion on topics of great concern, I can say, and that the inputs we received from Dr. Bhat have shown us how we are moving ahead as far as implementation of the policy is concerned with respect to use of technology in education. I express my gratitude to Dr. I.K. Bhat for his valuable insights and detailed explanation on the topic. I am extremely grateful to Shri Prakash Chandra ji and Shri Raghunandan ji for conceiving this idea of holding such webinars, which would be of immense help while we prepare for the implementation of the new education policy. I am also thankful to Shri Sudhakar ji, our coordinator, who has facilitated this discussion with the comprehensive concept note prepared by him. I would like to thank you, audience, for the great and fruitful interaction we had. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.